a city of 12 million people, all under lockdown, facing an unknown and deadly virus.
2020年1月23号10点起，全市城市公交、地铁、轮渡等不坐电梯暂停运营。
It's hard for me to imagine that this was Wuhan just 2 years ago. How the city coped in such dire circumstances is something I've come to discover. Mainly, how did Wuhan's approach to the virus ensure that its people today live in a safe and healthy society? And how did the people move forward with their lives during that time? I hope to find the answers to these questions. "10 days, thousands of patients, workers from across the nation. My journey begins here, Huashinshan Hospital, an engineering miracle that shocked China and the world. The order to build such a temporary hospital from scratch on January 23rd, together with the immediate imposition of a lockdown of over 12 million people, was seen as a prompt response that came through a core, critical decision.
政府的宗旨呢，就是把人民的生命安全、身体健康放在最高位置上。
按照我们正常施工的话，这个1年时间都差不多。
Alongside me is Peng Yuntao. He was one of the technical directors in charge of building the hospital.
一说要建这个医院，然后马上选址也有了。给我很惊讶的就是，马上图纸就出来了。
Many of those that were infected had nowhere to go, so for Peng, the hospital's timely completion was an immense priority.
后来我们以最短的时间，早一天建成，它就能够挽救一个人的生命。
But time was never on his side. Facing the stark reality of having never constructed such a project in light of an unknown virus, difficulties were mounting.
你们有没有一天，你跟自己说了，你跟自己想一想，可能我们做不到。
刚开始的时候，因为劳动力啊、材料啊还不足，有一天晚上我躺在这个物资房里面，整个身心都很疲惫了。然后我们的这个群里面很多同事就有一些消极，然后的时候有困难，然后我就发了很长一段话，鼓励大家。
Today, Peng still keeps the memories of how they tried to comfort and encourage each other to move forward. Now, some 40,000 workers and support staff like him, selflessly dedicated to the construction of Huashinshan and a subsequent temporary hospital known as Leishanshan, which in total admitted about 2,000 patients. But Peng has kept humble, and standing behind him and his team was the support that came from the nation's top leadership.
从习大大到我们省里面，到我们公司，到局里面各级领导，首先他底层里面的第一个意识就是我要救人，所以我觉得这种速度和这种应急是我们中国特有的这种意志和精神。我觉得就是把我们这个老百姓的生命放在第一位。
As I walk through these wards, I realize that this wasn't only a fight put up by Wuhan, but one that involved medical professionals from nearly every corner of the country.
你们都穿着防护服啊，戴着口罩啊，我看不到你们的这个真实面貌。但是呢，你们在我心目中都是最可爱的人。
And this was the message that the Chinese president echoed to all medical professionals, coming at the most critical of times. For Dr. Song He, a first responder working throughout the entirety of the outbreak in Wuhan, this message was a much-needed boost.
我们当时就是24小时工作，是不停的。 车子不停的接单，不停的在忙，穿防护服，衣服全部是湿透的，连内衣都是湿的。但是我觉得付出是值得。
At the time, the Chinese president also encouraged all medical workers to maintain confidence. stressing it was a people's battle against COVID-19.
我代表党中央向你们，也向全国在抗击疫情战斗中的医护工作者，致以崇高的敬意和衷心的感谢。
我自己的贴身感受，我不害怕。
为什么不害怕？是因为
我觉得我们都是一条心的，就是说大家都是一个目标去的，这个事情一定能做成的。
In line with the Chinese president's call to maintain confidence and safety, another priority was the well-being of medical professionals, who were also not to be forgotten, something emphasized during an official visit to Huashanshan. Dr. Hu Ke was one of 3 doctors from Hubei to meet directly with the Chinese president.
领导人他不畏惧这个病，也不畏惧这病毒。领导人来看望我们，来慰问我们，我们都是很近距离的。因为他其中就说了，医务人员要保重自己的身体，要关怀，首先要保护好自己，保护自己才有能力去救治更多的人。我真正来体会的，国家领导人说把人民的健康放在首位，健康至上，人民至上的这样一个理念，不是说而已。
If the hospitals were the de facto frontline, where nurses, patients, and families faced an invisible threat, then for the millions of others spread across Wuhan, their endured struggle of patience, tolerance, and sacrifice hit much closer to home. Here at Donghu Community, the people were given a much-needed boost of hope and inspiration at a critical time, and the Chinese president paid a visit during the lockdown. I met with one of the residents who was there that day.
真的是习主席他就跟我抬了个头，就跟我就摇了个手，就是说再坚持一下。
你们好，你们好，再坚持一下。
真是蛮亲情的，蛮感动人。他来了以后，对我们这个小区的那个，就是说那个力量啊，就觉得蛮增加了。就是说，好像战胜这个信心呐，战胜这个疫情呐，就蛮有自己有那种决心战胜这个疫情。
然后我也不能回家了，就。
36-year-old Chen Ling is one of the community's 15 staff members, and she was also present when the Chinese president made his visit.
当时习总书记来到我们社区的时候，跟我们说，居民在家里隔离了这么长的时间，有些情绪的宣泄，要我们一定理解和包容，然后还说要我们一定要尽全力的保障好居民的基本生活。
爱心菜是什么人可以吃爱心菜啊？
对，主要是困难人群的。
送还是卖？低价卖？
卖是免费的。
免费的啊。
Accompanying Chen throughout the day, I see the affection that's grown between her and the local residents.
周婆婆，这是我的居民周婆婆。辛苦多了，辛苦多了。
所以你们疫情的时候，你是来关心他们，对吗？
对对对，刚好这2天变天亮。
是的，像我的家人一样。
哦，这是你自己写的当手活的。
对，都是我写的，画的什么东西，画的菜，都是的。
我好感动啊，周婆婆。
都写的。
我真的不晓得你还会记这么细。
Over the course of the 3-month-long lockdown, over 12,000 community workers served as nurses, cooks, couriers, and waiters in some 1,400 communities across Wuhan. And even though anxiety and apprehension remain, the residents here have learned that the dedication of this community's workers will never be lost in vain. Wuhan's people collectively went through one of the most difficult times in modern history, a shared experience that came with pain, fear, and a sense of hope. But the city overcame the hardship through guidance, and most importantly, core decision-making from the nation's top leadership. The Wuhan of today hasn't forgotten its past, but the people and the city will take that experience with them, going forward to what they hope is a brighter and stronger future.